At dawn in Sydney's western suburbs, a peculiar ritual unfolds. Sulphur-crested cockatoos line up at public drinking fountains, patiently awaiting their turn. With deft movements, they twist the handles, releasing streams of water to quench their thirst. This isn't a scene from a nature documentary, it's real life. And it's happening in parks designed entirely for humans. These wild birds have unlocked a tool made for another species. No one trained them. No one showed them how. This behavior isn't just charming, it signifies a profound adaptation. These birds are not only surviving but thriving in urban landscapes, exhibiting behaviors once thought exclusive to humans. Their actions challenge our understanding of animal intelligence and adaptability. They're not just using human infrastructure, they're learning from one another, changing their behavior in response to the city itself. It forces us to confront an essential question. Are we underestimating how deeply wildlife can integrate into our world? In an age where species struggle to adapt to human impact, these cockatoos are doing the opposite. They're innovating. In a study published on June 4, 2025, in the journal Biology Letters, researchers from the Max Planck Institute of Animal Behavior and Western Sydney University documented this phenomenon. Lead researcher Dr. Barbara C. Klump and her team conducted systematic observations of sulphur-crested cockatoos in the parks and neighbourhoods of Western Sydney over the course of 44 days. Using motion-activated cameras, they recorded 525 drinking attempts. To their surprise, around 70% of the local cockatoo population was observed engaging in the behaviour. These weren't isolated incidents. The birds followed a complex, repeated sequence. Gripping the vertical drinking fountain handle with one foot, rotating it to release water, then carefully positioning themselves to drink while keeping the flow steady with their weight. Some even managed to take short breaks between gulps, expertly re-engaging the mechanism to maintain water access. Researchers mapped the behavior across multiple neighborhoods, revealing how certain birds seem to act as innovators, with others copying them later. Notably, cockatoos that lived closer to parks with these fountains picked up the technique faster, indicating a strong spatial and social component to the learning process. The study highlighted just how fast knowledge can spread through wild populations when the conditions for learning are present, especially among highly social animals like cockatoos. Interestingly, many of the fountains used by the cockatoos had previously shown no signs of animal use. The behavior seemed to emerge rapidly, spreading almost virally between flocks in neighboring districts. The researchers compared this kind of transmission to a form of culture, parrot culture, that may differ subtly from one region to another, with unique local nuances in how the birds approach the challenge. The study revealed that this remarkable ability is not hardwired into the cockatoo's DNA, but is instead a learned, culturally transmitted behavior, shared from one individual to another through observation and imitation. Dr. Lucy Aplin, a cognitive ecologist at the Australian National University and co-author of the study, stated, "This behavior has spread through the local cockatoo population to establish as a tradition." The implication? These birds aren't just surviving, they're teaching. The absence of gender bias in this newly observed behavior marks a significant contrast to previous findings. In past studies, males typically dominated urban problem-solving behaviors, such as opening trash bin lids to scavenge for food. Yet with the fountains, both males and females appeared equally adept, suggesting the motivation, thirst, not hunger, may be a stronger equalizer. Even more fascinating was the high level of coordination and tolerance shown between individuals. Often, cockatoos formed loose queues, waiting for one bird to finish before another approached. In some cases, one bird operated the handle while another drank, a cooperative dynamic rarely seen outside of bonded pairs or flocks. This mutual accommodation reflects a level of social negotiation, as if some birds recognized the benefit of collaboration over conflict. Each bird's technique varied slightly, with some twisting left, others right, or even adjusting grip mid-maneuver. This suggested not only learning from peers, but innovating on top of it, a foundation for culture. In some parks, unique styles even emerged, hinting at local traditions forming among flocks just kilometers apart. The researchers also noticed something else remarkable. Some birds that had never been seen at a fountain before were able to use it successfully on their first try. That suggests they may have been silently watching from the trees, learning by observation alone, demonstrating not just curiosity, but advanced cognitive abilities and memory recall. One bird, for example, managed to drink for nearly 30 seconds, taking several pauses to look around before continuing, as though gauging the safety of the behavior and surroundings. And in some neighborhoods, juvenile birds were seen mimicking older cockatoos, suggesting this knowledge may be passed across generations, creating not just a behavior, but a tradition with roots in both space and time. This discovery has broader implications far beyond parrot behavior. It speaks to the resilience and adaptability of wildlife in cities, and to the underestimated intelligence of birds, particularly parrots, already known for their vocal mimicry and tool use. The fountain-operating cockatoos join an exclusive club of species, including primates and crows, capable of innovating and socially transmitting complex behaviors. For urban planners, this raises an important point. Wildlife is not merely displaced by cities, it adapts. As Dr. Klump emphasized, urban areas aren't just concrete jungles, they're dynamic environments where animals are actively learning. Cities could consider wildlife-accessible water sources, or even rethink public infrastructure with the expectation that animals may interact with it in creative ways. This could also reshape how we think about conservation in urban settings. Instead of seeing cities as threats to biodiversity, they may become opportunities, places where behavioral evolution is visible in real time. Studying these adaptations might even give insight into how other species will respond to increasingly human-dominated environments. And the cockatoos are just one case. What if raccoons, foxes, crows, or even marsupials are developing similar patterns of interaction with our infrastructure? Are we watching the early stages of multi-species urban cohabitation? The study prompts new questions about the role of culture, intelligence, and adaptability in shaping the future of wildlife, and what responsibilities humans may have in guiding that future. The research team has called on citizen scientists to help expand the project. They encourage anyone who spots cockatoos operating fountains or engaging in other unexpected behaviors to document and share their findings. This could help map how far and fast such behaviors are spreading and whether entirely new ones are emerging. The cockatoo's adaptation to urban water fountains is more than a quirky headline. It's a glimpse into a rapidly changing world where animals and cities are learning to live together in real time. It reminds us that evolution doesn't always take millennia. Sometimes it takes a thirsty bird and a human invention. So what other hidden traditions might be evolving around us, unseen, unrecorded, and waiting to be discovered? Subscribe for Real Science, updated daily from peer-reviewed studies across the globe. And don't miss our next episode, because the natural world is rewriting its own rules, one surprising behavior at a time.